Former Carolina Panthers standout safety Jeremy Chinn says he turned down the most money with the Pittsburgh Steelers in free agency this offseason to sign with a different team. So, Jeremy Chinn, safety for the Carolina Panthers, entered free agency this offseason, and he had a chance to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most money that he was offered during the free agency period, but no, he turned it down and signed a 1-year, $4.105 million deal with the Washington Commanders instead. So, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like the video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, he made an appearance on the Sirius XM Blitz with Bryce Murray and Rick Spielman on Thursday, and Chinn said and revealed that Pittsburgh Steelers offered him more money in free agency than any other team, but that he ultimately liked the defensive fit with the Commanders and the scheme under first-year head coach Dan Quinn better than the Steelers' defense, leading him to sign for less money than he was offered with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So here's a direct quote from it. "I can't remember if it was a multi-year deal, but I did get another offer. Pittsburgh was more money, but just the situation here with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt and Jason Simmons and TD, this is where I'm supposed to be, man. I know this is where I'm supposed to be." End quote. So, Jeremy Chinn, he had a chance to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but he turned it down for less money because he did not like the scheme of the Pittsburgh Steelers compared to the Washington Commanders. And sometimes you have to look at the situation and be like, hey, he just chose what he chose. He obviously wanted to go there instead. But then sometimes you have to think, he had a chance to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he chose the Washington Commanders, who obviously is not a great team. They're going through a kind of a rebuild process after trading away some defensive players, getting new quarterback and things like that, new head coach, and they're just unstable in terms of what they've done. And you look at that, and he picked that instead of going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a chance to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably be a starting safety with them. This was before probably the DeShon Elliott contract the Steelers gave the safety this offseason, in which they signed former Baltimore Raven, Miami Dolphin. Before they gave him the contract, this is probably the offer that they offered Jeremy Chinn, but then he turned it down and they pivoted to DeShon Elliott. So if that is the case, then he had a chance to be probably a starter on the Steelers at strong safety, next to the best safety basically in the league in Minkah Fitzpatrick. And on top of that, he was getting paid more money. He said as well that he was going to get paid more money as well. And on top of that, be on a team that's actually a winning team. What do you want to do in the NFL? You're trying to win games and get paid money. He could have had both of that with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but now he got none of that with the Commanders. And now after one season, he's probably going to end up leaving their team, or he's probably going to realize the mistake that he made when they don't end up making the playoffs. When their team is a bad team and they don't end up winning. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least you know you're going to have a winning record 100%. You know you're going to come in and probably be the starter, and you know you're going to have a chance to at least fight in the playoffs. Even though there's basically no playoff success since 2016, at least you know you have a chance to make the playoffs, have a winning record, be on a good team, a great team with a head coach, with a good defense, with a good kind of support system around you, and get paid the most money. So him turning that down, obviously from a personal perspective, it made sense for him, but just from an outside point of view looking in, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously this happened with Patrick Queen as well, because this offseason he said he actually picked the Pittsburgh Steelers, who offered him less money than a different team because he wanted to win now. So he picked the Steelers because of the winning reasons I basically just revealed and just said that Jeremy Chinn turned down. So obviously it makes sense if you're turning down more money to go win, but he turned down more money to go lose, which in the outside perspective just doesn't make sense, but I guess to him, that's where he wanted to be. The only reason why this is being talked about is because Jeremy Chinn is actually a really good player. When you look at Jeremy Chinn, he spent the first 4 seasons of his career with the Carolina Panthers. And since just watching him play, he's always been a player that I just liked at the safety position in terms of what he does on the football field. He measures in at 6'3", 221 pounds, and he's a do-it-all safety and a hybrid linebacker type of player for his first 4 years in the NFL with the Panthers. He primarily played in the box and was seeing 1,183 snaps in the box over 4 seasons along with 856 snaps in the slot, another 576 at the free safety position, 244 snaps along the defensive line, basically blitzing off the edge. So he was a do-it-all type of guy, do-it-all type of player, and he was a really great safety for them. In his time in Carolina, he played 2,951 snaps in total, over 54 total games, and 50 starts. He had 2 interceptions, pass defense he had 17, forced fumbles he had 3, sacks he had 4, he had 2 touchdowns as well, tackles for loss he had 12, and combined tackles he had 324. So he was really a productive player and kind of the hybrid player for the Carolina Panthers and their go-to player when you look at their defense. When you look at their defense, he was the person who stood out for them. So the Pittsburgh Steelers will not have this player now. They will obviously have DeShon Elliott, and they pivoted towards DeShon Elliott, and they signed him to a 2-year, $6 million deal with a 1.5 signing bonus. This is starting to look like an introduction to Jeremy Chinn and showing his stats and everything like that. But this video is just really saying the real reason why that Jeremy Chinn did not sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He revealed that he did not care about the money. He did not care about the winning scenario being in Pittsburgh. He just wanted to join a defense led by Dan Quinn and be on the losing team with the Washington Commanders. That's his choice. The Pittsburgh Steelers are probably better off without it. But this is what's going on in the news surrounding the Steelers. Don't get me wrong, it would have been great to add Jeremy Chinn, a hybrid player, someone who was a defensive back and linebacker, who was able to do both and play coverage really well, play the run very well. It would have been nice to add that hybrid player to be able to put in any position, whether it's slot, linebacker, safety, or whatever, to move him across the football field. It would have been nice. But now the Pittsburgh Steelers have a true safety in DeShon Elliott, someone who's a true strong safety, plays that position basically only, and he's able to move into the box somewhat and come up and make tackles, but he's truly a strong safety. And they have a guy in Damontae Kazee, who's that hybrid type of player. They would have got a hybrid type of player in Jeremy Chinn, would have had a hybrid type of player in Minkah, hybrid type of player in Damontae Kazee. So their whole safety room would have been a hybrid type of player skill set. But now they get a true safety in DeShon Elliott to put next to Minkah Fitzpatrick, someone who is looking to tackle, looking to hit, has forced fumble in Derrick Henry, and is just looking to make an impact. And now you have Damontae Kazee to come in and play that hybrid type of role, the slot, and do whatever he needs to do. You have Minkah Fitzpatrick who can move around the team, move around the defense, and do whatever he wants to do. He said he wants to get back to playing Minkah Fitzpatrick type of ball and force turnovers. Well, now you get to do that because now you have a true safety next to you in DeShon Elliott. And to be honest, that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers need, because when you look at the safety position for them, Minkah Fitzpatrick went from leading the league in interceptions to having 0 last season. So if he could get back to being that type of player that he was when the Steelers first traded for him and the few years after, and getting back to roaming the defense instead of playing up at a linebacker spot, instead of having to come up and make tackles, play the slot, and do whatever, it really helped this team. So that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers really need. Instead of adding all these guys to do all these type of roles, just get Minkah Fitzpatrick back to doing Minkah Fitzpatrick things, and that will really help this team, and hopefully now it could get started. If you have too many hybrid players, Minkah Fitzpatrick probably wouldn't be able to get back to his role, but now hopefully he can this season. So obviously it would have been nice to add Jeremy Chinn to this roster. Maybe you could have added DeShon Elliott too, but no, things worked out differently, and you have to think that it worked out for the best. Omar Khan knew what he was doing, and he got DeShon Elliott and pivoted to him quickly to make an impact for this team. So even though it would have been nice getting Jeremy Chinn, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can't switch the past. You can only look at what the future holds, and hopefully it's a great defense led by Minkah and DeShon Elliott and Damontae Kazee at the safety position. So with that being said, that's the end of this video, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, just on Jeremy Chinn basically saying that he turned down the most money offered to him in the free agency period by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and turned down the winning scenario type of team to move towards the Washington Commanders, who obviously have not been great, are in a rebuild, and they offered him less money. Would you have done the same, or would you have picked the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about just this safety room in general with Deshaun Elliott, Minkah, and Damontae Kazee. Do you think it'll be better than last season's? And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates, kind of rumors, and just going through everything from this to breaking news to highlights, video, breakdown, analysis, film breakdowns, reactions, everything. I do it all, I cover it all, and I'll continue to cover it all. So subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.